I am Steven Sashen. You may have not have seen me like this before, but this is my real look. This is what I actually look like in real life. I hide this with clever AI and camera tricks, but just so you know, you're seeing the real me. I am co-founder and co-CEO of Zero Shoes, and I'm here to talk about our big sale starting next week, but I'm telling you about it now because every time we do one of these, we sell out of colors, sizes, even entire styles. So I'm going to tell you how you can make sure you can get something before things sell out. In fact, I'll just tell you now. Go to zeroshoes.com or zeroshoes.eu/big sale. Sign up to become a VIP. I'll tell you how in a second. And we're going to give you a 24-hour head start to pick up Zero Shoes between 10 and 70% off. One day before we announce this sale to over 2 million people. So the way you become a VIP and get early access, and by the way, I'll answer this question in a second, is you'll see our sweepstakes app on the right of the page or the bottom of the page, depending on the device you're using. Different actions you can take in the sweepstakes app. The first one, become a VIP. Join the VIP list. So we'll let you know, we'll send you an email 24 hours before everybody else to let you know when you can jump in and start getting Zero Shoes between 10 and 70% off. Also, when you sign up as a VIP, you'll see there's other actions you can take in the sweepstakes because we're giving away 14 $100 and €100 zeroshoes.com and zeroshoes.eu respectively gift certificates because it's our 14th anniversary. So go there. That you'll find out everything I'm going to say here. But this is a live event. So if you have any questions or comments, type them in. I'll see them over there, and then I'll respond to them. But I'm just going to be saying the same basic thing over and over. Go to zeroshoes.com/big sale or zeroshoes.eu/big sale, and you will find all the details. Sign up to be a VIP, get early access, get ready to save big on things. By the way, some of these are clearance items that are never coming back. So you'll see. All right, questions coming in really quick. Sue, do you have something like the Mika Boost, but winterproof, slip-proof, and waterproof? The Alpine. Where's an Alpine? I don't have one here. The Alpine, which is our fully waterproof snow boot, is the closest thing I can think of for that. JCap says, hello. Hey, right back at you. Susan, love my TerraFlex. Are you sure they aren't bedroom slippers? We've heard that question quite a bit. I get it. JCap, can you tell me why people hate the HFS2? I don't know because we just did a poll and 80% of the people that we polled love the HFS2. What I can tell you, no, it's not that there's no ground feel whatsoever. That's complete bullshit. Pardon me for saying it that way. For people who don't like it, some of the people who, I'll be totally candid because I always am. So compared to the HFS1, it has 1.3 millimeters of what we call bare foam to kind of smooth things out a little bit. Some people like having more ground feel, like from the Speed Force, which I'm wearing right now, which is the most ground feel you'll get. Then the HFS, the Zelen, and the Forza Runner all had this, the HFS1, all had the same sole, which is a little less ground feel than the Speed Force. But then the HFS2, just from customer feedback that we were getting for years, we just made that a little bit, that little bit of extra protection while still giving you ground feel. Still has great ground feel, just a little less than the original HFS1. So, but again, we did a poll, and in fact, even from the poll from people who liked the HFS1 more than the HFS2, when we asked, would you recommend the HFS2, 80% said yes. So this idea that people hate it, I'm sorry, it's just not true. Best thing I can say. Sorry about that. I hate, just being argumentative, but the inner tubes, as you may know, give you a skewed view of reality. So do with that what you will. Okay, Wedge. This recent snow in Colorado made me really want a pair of Alpine. Sale was perfect timing. Great. Jacob, I do like the way the HFS2 look, though. It's one of the reasons we did it was to give it that look as well. So, one of the things about the internet, as you may know, is if you get added bonus points for bitching and moaning, the algorithm literally encourages bitching and moaning. And then the problem is when people disagree with that original bitching and moan, you never see those comments. They get further down the page and people typically don't look at those. They never open up all the comments and read those where you see dissenting views. So it creates a skewed view of reality. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So once again, by the way, I feel really liberated showing you my true self and what I actually look like when I'm not wearing normal clothes and using all that AI to hide this stuff and, do that hair thing that people seem to respond to. So I feel really good about that. Anyway, go to zeroshoes.com/big sale or zeroshoes.eu/big sale, and you'll find out all the details. Again, we're making every pair of shoes that we make, everything that we make, shoes, boots, and sandals, between 10 and 70% off. So we're not going to be announcing all the specifics until the actual sale starts on November 7th. But if you're a VIP, we're going to give you a 24-hour head start because, again, we always sell out of certain colors, certain sizes, sometimes entire styles. So if you know there's something you want, definitely sign up to become a VIP so you make sure you can get it, assuming we have it right now. If you don't see it like right before the sale starts, it's not there. We're not getting a new inventory during the sale, FYI. Cynthia, I want the Ridgeway Low Black. Thank you for the sale. Cool. So it's there. Michelle, I've been waiting for the big sale. Here it is. My son took over my Chelsea style boots. I need another pair for myself and a pair for him to grow into. That's awesome. By the way, if there's anybody here who doesn't know what makes Xero Shoes special, let me do the quick, 2-minute version of that. So you have a quarter of the bones and joints of your whole body in your feet and ankles. Using those bones and joints is what you do for balance, agility, and mobility. And if you don't let your feet do that job, that function tries unsuccessfully to move into your ankle, your knee, your hip, and your back. You have more nerve endings in the soles of your feet than anywhere but your fingertips and your lips. So you can feel things, so your brain knows how to move your body effectively, efficiently, and enjoyably. If you can't feel anything, it can't do that. So we want to let your feet do their job so the rest of your body can do its job. So one way we do that is by making shoes with a wider foot-shaped toe box instead of squeezing your toes together. We make things low to the ground for balance and agility. We don't mess with your posture by elevating your heel or mess with your gait by elevating your toes. We make things that are super, super flexible so those bones and joints can actually move the way they're supposed to. And the sole is designed to give you traction and protection, but also that ground feeling that your brain is looking for so it knows how to move you effectively, efficiently, and enjoyably. And it's backed with our 5,000-mile sole warranty. And Xero Shoes are so lightweight, like you may have seen in a comment before, some people have gone to bed forgetting they were wearing them. So that's what we do. And we make them affordable, and we have shoes and boots and sandals for pretty much every activity you could possibly think of. But to a question that came in, will we make work boots soon? It's something we're working on. I don't have an ETA for when it's going to happen, but you may not be surprised to know that to make a work boot that still gives you that barefoot experience or the value of natural movement with the protective things you need and the technical things you need for a work boot, tricky. So, but that's what we're working on. We're getting pretty far. I just don't have an ETA. If you want a foot costume, search for foot costume. You'll find it online. Or come work for us because we got like 5 of them and we wear them all the time. I want to dress as a toe as well. You can. Again, just get online. It's a great Halloween costume. I didn't get enough padding in here to do it the way I wanted, but you get the idea. Me literally gone to bed with them. See, that's from, I can't read the names because I'm too far away from my computer. So anyway, will we do custom colorways eventually from JCap? Like, I like to mix and match sole colors with top colors, etc. Doing that basically requires owning our own factory and having just a whole lot of materials ready to go. We love the idea of that, but that's the kind of thing that companies don't typically do till either they have I think, and pardon me for being technical with financial terms, a shit ton of VC money behind them. You need so much money for the inventory as well as reserving factory space and time to be able to do that. We're not there yet. I love the idea for a lot of reasons. By the way, I always wear mismatched colors. Right now I have 2 different colors on my feet if I'm wearing shoes and I'm not barefoot. So people always say, oh, do you buy them that way? I go, well, I get them free, but that's different. If you want mismatched colors, it's easy. You buy 2 pairs and, mismatch them. So love the idea. It's on our eventual list, but again, the logistics of that are unbelievably challenging. You need to have basically so much money just tied up in inventory, hoping that people are going to pick the color combinations that you like. Nightmarish, but again, love the idea. Okay, once again, quick reminder, go to xeroshoes.com/big sale or xeroshoes.eu/big sale because our big holiday sale is starting next week on the 7th, but I'm telling you about it now because I want you to prepare. If you see something you like, you're definitely going to want to sign up to be a VIP. On those pages, you'll find our sweepstakes app. And what the first action you can do is sign up to become a VIP. We will give you a 24-hour head start before we alert over 2 million people on our email list and our social media followers about this big sale where everything is 10 to 70% off. Every Xero shoe is 10 to 70% off. Plus, when you register to be a VIP and do the other actions in the sweepstakes app, You're registering to win one of 14, because it's our 14th anniversary, 14 $100 or €100 zeroshoes.com or .eu respectively gift certificates. And don't wait to see if you won before you buy something, because we don't announce the winners until the end of the sale, till right after the sale ends. And invariably people email us saying, hey, you ran out of something that I wanted. It's like, yeah, it's a clearance sale. So you got to get stuff when you can get it. And besides, if you buy something and then you win, we'll apply your winnings to what your order. So there's that. Quick questions that come in. Yikes. Mix and match colors. Yeah, I know. I like that too. Back to that. I have to recommend Scramblers to everyone. I broke my butt last year and have been a little scared to hike since, but the Scramblers have saved me. I love that shoe, but the mid top and the low top. Tech Planner Babe, any IT remote positions, I'm in. Send an email to hr@zeroshoes.com. What will our first wide model? Our shoes are already wider than 80% of shoes ever made in the world. So if you're wider than what we're doing, that's a different story. So here's the thing about sizing or foot shape is that, well, there's two things. One, it's a spectrum. There are people who have really narrow feet, people who have really, really wide feet. And if you want to make something that fits the most people, well, we do. But to go wider means the people who have narrower feet can't fit our shoes and vice versa. So for us to make something that's a specific version of some shoe that's a wider version requires double the money and double the inventory. So we're not there yet. But here's the second point. This whole width thing is very misunderstood. So we had somebody who was a 4EE come into our booth at a trade show and say, can I try on your shoe? And somebody said, probably not going to fit you because we don't go 4EE. He put on the HFS and it fit him perfectly, because width is not a two-dimensional thing. It's a three-dimensional volume thing. And so when people look at, width, like they stand on an insole and go, I'm not sure if this is going to fit. The insole, of course, because it goes inside the shoe, is narrower than what the shoe actually is. But again, it's the volume of the shoe and the volume of your foot and how they match. And there's literally no one in the world right now doing volumetric measuring of both of those things, especially because for a shoe, the volume changes as you wear it for some styles. If it's a leather shoe, it'll stretch. I'm wearing the Speed Force right now, and I've noticed in just the last month how much it has stretched just because of the way I use it, doing a lot of lateral motion. So the materials make a difference about what it does over time. Your foot makes a difference about what it does over time. So anyway, our stuff right now is already wider and more foot shaped than almost, well, there are a few brands that make wider things than ours. Oh, here's the other thing about making things wider. You still want to make them look good and not look clownish. And so to fit all of those things in one place is a little tricky. So if you have a request for a particular shoe that needs to be even wider, send us pictures of like your foot and a shoe and a ruler so we can see what's going on. We'll tell you if we can help. But I want to clear up those misconceptions first, because they're all over the place. Anyway, Young, I like my Prios a lot. Yikes, wait, I got to scroll and I got to reach to be able to scroll. Yeah, sorry. This is not easy for me to do. How do I do this? Wait. Okay, there we go. Oh, Young says, I like my Prios a lot. I'd fallen arches and always had super flat feet, but now no problems with my Prios, and I can engage my foot better when moving. Thank you. That's what I like. But I wear wide. Nothing is non-wide. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Sam, I'm wider than the norm. Again, we have people who are wider than the norm wearing our shoes without a problem, because it has nothing to do with width. It's about volume, and no one is measuring volume of a shoe and a thing. So if our shoes are working for you, great. If not, I'm sorry to hear it, but you can leave us feedback and we can look into whatever we can do. But keep in mind, again, things stretch, volume, etc. Do with all that what you will. Okay, what's your favorite, my least favorite Zero shoe, out of curiosity? Dude, that's like Sophie's Choice. Which is my least favorite child that I want to have killed? I honestly don't have one. I don't have one. I rotate and I like them all. Laurie, is there a place to see actual measurements to select size? No, because it doesn't work that way. Man, we're getting into a really interesting conversation. So here's the problem with giving a measurement. If I tell you, so if I tell you that the inside of the shoe is 10 inches long, you're going to have an opinion about whether that's going to fit your foot or not, based on wearing probably other shoes that function differently. So let me show you something. Here's a normal looking shoe. If this is 10 inches long and your foot is 10 inches, you would think it's too short because With a shoe with a big, thick midsole, when it bends, it's like a phone book. The inside bends faster than the outside, so it gets effectively shorter as you walk. Well, with our shoes, without a big, thick midsole, if your foot's right up against the edge, for example, 10 inches, 10 inches, it's going to stay that way. It doesn't get effectively shorter. But the other issue with measurements and sizing is personal preference. So some people like a certain amount of space in front of their toes. Some people like more, some people like less. Here's what I can tell you. The sizing recommendations that we have, now we've tried this. We've tried saying, we've tried by saying, here's the length, the interior length of this shoe. The number of people who couldn't figure out how to use a ruler to come up with an accurate measurement of their foot, I know it sounds stupid, but it was crazily high. What we found, the reason we're doing recommendations the way we are, is based on testing a number of different things, including giving specific measurements. And this is the one that resulted in the most satisfaction from customers getting the right size. Secondly, personal preference makes a difference, and we can't accommodate that, which is why we do free domestic exchanges, because there's literally, again, I know companies who've spent $1 billion trying to figure out a sizing methodology that lets you know, here's the size of your foot, here's the size of the shoe that's going to then work for you and be comfortable. No one has figured it out yet. There's not one system that makes that work yet. I do have a patent on one that I think is going to work, but we're not there yet. So bottom line, the recommendations we give are the best we can give because it's given us from the most customer feedback is what's making us make the recommendation. And the most feedback about doing it that way has been the most effective. I hope that's useful. But in terms of a place to see actual measurements, our store here in Denver, because then you can actually just try everything on, FYI. So I hope that's helpful. Again, I'm not trying to be too argumentative. It's just A, it's the end of the day, and B, these are interesting questions that they sound simple and logical, but what I can tell you from being on this side, being in the business for 14 years, the reality is different than what we think, which is often the case. So I hope that's useful. And I wasn't too much of a douche about it. Okay, back to BT about maybe one color in one size model. Again, leave that as a suggestion. And we can see if it's possible. But again, really, it's just really not simple for many reasons. Again, young child. Also, with sizing, my feet didn't fit very well with no arch engaged. And when my arch shortened and my feet heightened, then they fit perfect. Toe space helps. Yeah, it's true. Vanarsky, I hope you can have a store here in the Philippines. Yeah, that would be nice. We don't have one in the Philippines. We do have a store in Singapore, but I know that's not Philippines. We're actually talking to some people in Philippines, but we don't have a store there yet. Monica, your recommendations have been accurate on all fair pairs that I have so far. Thank you. But again, not true for everyone, which is why we do exchanges, because no one's figured it out perfectly yet. Amazon hasn't figured it out. Zappos hasn't figured it out. And they lose billions of dollars, maybe hundreds of millions on sizing problems. So FYI. Are you guys going to do a high top casual shoe to compete with, say, Fieldgrounds? I'm not competing with anyone. We're just making things that we make. We had a high top sneaker called the hell was it called? I can't remember. We had a high top sneaker and we discontinued it because it just wasn't selling really well, but it is coming back in a new and improved way. So yes, we are, but I don't even know what Fieldgrounds is doing. So I don't have an answer for that. I have your original pre-owned Daylight Hiker Fusion. I can say your quality is way better than Fieldgrounds, and then you're saying something else. High top looks good. Again, we have one coming out. So which trade shows are you attending winter and spring? I don't remember. Sorry. We are going to a thing called the running event at the end of this month. Charles, any recommendations for wet snow? Yeah, so we have a bunch of waterproof shoes. We have our Alpine, I don't have one here, which is a fully waterproof snow boot. We have our Excursion Fusion, fully waterproof hiking shoe. We have our Mesa Trail waterproof, fully waterproof trail runner and hiker. And those have seam sealed inner linings, waterproof membranes. And I might be forgetting one. Those are the ones that are at the top of my brain. Hope that works. Alpine, Excursion Fusion, and what did I say? Mesa Trail waterproof, Mesa Trail WP. Those are Mesa Trail 2 WP. Any new models you're not supposed to show us? Probably, but I don't have them behind me, so I can't show you. He knows that if someone asks me that and I have one handy, I'll show you, but I don't have one. Toronto says Canada. Oh, Toronto. Thank you. That was what it was called. Yeah, my brain was gone. We're bringing it back. Wedge. Yeah, my toes have spread since going minimalist. I'm proud that my toes are nearly as wide as Stephen himself. that wide. Young, will we ever see a Yeezy Zero Shoes collab? No. We try not to do business with crazy people. The Excursion Fusion is, again, another waterproof one. I remembered that one. I couldn't remember Toronto. Venersky, tropical countries like the Philippines, where almost all people wear flip-flops. I'm sure many people wear your sandals. Yeah, we sell a lot of sandals in Southeast Asia and hoping to do more. Okay, that was a big digression. I don't want to stay on here forever because, Halloween, I don't know where you are, but kids are starting to show up at our house any moment now, so I want to get home. Go to zeroshoes.com/big sale, zeroshoes.eu/big sale there. And you'll find out that we are going to be selling every Zero Shoes style between 10 and 70% off from November 17th through the end of the month. You don't want to wait till the end because we will sell out of things. In fact, if there's something you want to get, then you want to become a VIP where we give you a 24-hour head start before we announce the sale to over 2 million people. And so you become a VIP by going to those websites, finding our sweepstakes app, middle of the top of the page, bottom of the page, and then filling out the form there. You'll see the first thing you can do, not filling out a form, taking the actions for the sweepstakes. The first one you can take is to sign up to be a VIP. We'll give you the 24-hour head start. That also qualifies you to win one of those $1,400 or €1,400 Zero Shoes gift certificates. And there's other actions you can take in the sweepstakes. The more actions you take, the more entries you get. The more entries you get, the better your chances of winning. Do not wait to see if you won before you pick up something during the sale, because we announce the winners after the sale ends. But if you buy something, then you win. It's cool. We can apply your winnings to the order that you placed. So Old Man of the Sea just got his Excursion Fusions last week. Have fun. Sam, have the Excursion Fusion for work, farm work to be specific. Love them. I used to use Keen, so they don't hold up. My foot strength has really improved. I love hearing that. BTC, I think I'm reading it. Sorry if I can't read from here to there. Thanks for everything you're doing. Normally, I'm not sitting, this far away from the computer, but toes. Okay. Paz, which Zero Shoes are the most recommended when you live in the mountains and every time you leave the house, they get wet with the grass? Which ones are the most waterproof? They're all similar. So again, Alpine, Mesa Trail waterproof, Excursion Fusion, very, very similar. So it just depends on what you're looking for. A snow boot with that look from the Alpine, a hiking boot with the look of the Excursion Fusion, or a trail low top trail hiker runner like the Mesa Trail waterproof. All right. So let's wrap it up. You guys, you're probably dealing with trick-or-treaters as well. And I have to make sure we give away the candy so there's not anything left for me to eat tomorrow. Michael says all chiropractors should recommend Zero Shoes. I agree. Do what you can to make that happen. We're working on that as well. So last time, go to zeroshoes.com/big sale. Go to zeroshoes.eu/big sale. I can't point at those things properly. And you'll find out about how to save 10 to 70% during our big sale starting next week on the 7th or one day earlier for VIPs. And we couldn't be more excited because we want you and people who are new to Zero Shoes, we want you to feel what you've been missing: natural comfort, performance, and health. For people who are not new to Zero Shoes, thank you so much for your support over the years. It has been just a treat for all of us, of which there are now a lot of people here. Everyone on the Zero Shoes team couldn't be more grateful that we are helping people to go out and have fun and live life feet first. All right. See ya.